Hello again, cutie pies. I am going to do a little video about shaving for you. This video is going to focus on products and tools. So there are sort of three kinds of products that are related to shaving. You have your before products, your during products, and your after products. And pretty much everyone will recommend that you exfoliate before you shave. It helps prevent ingrown hairs. I personally like to use an exfoliant that I make at home that's pretty simple. It's basically honey and brown sugar. I put it in a jar. I add a couple other things that I personally like coconut oil, vanilla extract, and cinnamon, but you don't have to do that, or you could add other things, whatever. I also use just my regular face wash, my daily face wash before and after shaving. So then we get to during, which means that you have a bunch of options for shave gels. There's shave lotions, there's shave soaps. I'm sure there's other things that I'm missing, and it's really a personal choice. It's up to what you like and what your skin likes. Personally, my favorite of all the things that I've tried is the Aveeno, I don't know if you can see it, the Aveeno Therapeutic Shave Gel. It comes out as a pretty clear gel, and they recommend just rubbing it on your face. Personally, I like to make a lather out of it, which I'll explain a little bit later, and then brush it on. So a lot of aftershaves are like full of cologne and all sorts of icky stuff that I do not want to put on my face, especially right after I've shaved. So instead, first I use a really nice moisturizer because shaving really dries out your skin. This is the Eucerin Skin Calming Daily Moisturizing Cream. It's fragrance free, and it's somewhere between a cream and a lotion, so it's a nice middle ground that's super moisturizing. If you have dry skin like me, this is a godsend. You can get it at the drugstore. I think for a huge thing like this, it's like $8 or something like that. After my moisturizer has sunk in, I use a homemade toner. I make the toner out of fresh squeezed lemons, water, and witch hazel, which I can post the recipe for if anybody wants. And I love that and swear by it. It helps me a ton with acne, and it helps me a lot with ingrown hairs. And it's nice because it doesn't have fragrances in it. Okay, on to tools. This is the fun part. Okay, so the first tool I want to show you is a brush. I grew up watching my dad use one of these to shave. He had a little bowl of shaving soap, and he would lather it up and use this. So there's, I guess, a bit of nostalgia in it for me. But it also serves a purpose. So this one is this one, I can't remember what it is. I think it's boar hair, maybe. There's a lot of different kinds that you can get, and they do make ones that are vegan. This one came as part of that shaving set that I mentioned by Vanderhagen, which you can get at drugstore.com or at Walgreens. It's about $8.99, and you should get a brush and a bowl and the shaving soap. So that's a pretty good deal, especially when you look at a place like the Art of Shaving or like fancy shaving places and what they charge for that stuff, which is silly. Don't go there. So with this one, what you want to do is you want to keep it in a cup of warm water or a bowl of warm water for a few minutes before you shave. Let it soak up the warm water. Shake off the excess, and then dump out your water and fill it up with your shaving gel. And then spin it into a nice, big, warm, thick lather. And then you're going to take that lather and you're going to put it on your face. Since I have, a beard, I'm just shaving above the line and at my neckline. So I take the lather all the way down around here and all the way up here. And then I get my thumbs wet, and this is the part that is from my makeup artist days, because shaving is basically contouring your face if you do it right. So I take my wet thumbs and I draw a line just like you would if you were contouring, trying to find that line where you want the top of your beard to be. And on top of that damp line that I've made is where all the shaving cream is. And so I just shave to that line, and I do the same thing on the bottom. The next tool is just a cup. Like I was explaining, I use this to soak the brush and also to soak my razor beforehand in warm water. And I also use it to fill up with lather. This is actually from Sur La Table, but I got it for like $1 at a Goodwill or something. So don't go out and buy an expensive like shaving cup or shaving bowl or shaving mug or whatever unless that's what you really want to do, because you can find cups that are perfect for that at thrift stores and Goodwills and those sorts of places. You just want to find one that is wide and relatively shallow. Okay, on to the exciting tools. Okay, so a lot of you are probably familiar with some variation of this. This is a classic razor. This one is a Gillette Mach 3 Turbo, which sounds fancy, but is actually on the lower end of what razors you can get at the drugstore, Target, etc. One container of 8 cartridges for this razor is $26. That's ridiculous. That's like $26 once a month or once every 2 months that I am not willing to spend, because this safety razor, which I'll explain in a second, costs $26 on its own, and the $10 that I spent on blades for this about a year ago, I'm still working on them. So for a total of $40, I got blades for a year and this beautiful, fancy, perfect safety razor. Whereas with this one, I would be spending $30 every month for that year just to get new cartridges, which is silly. Let's not do that. Let's do something else that's better. So a lot of people probably have never seen a safety razor before. This is what my grandpa used to shave. You can find these sometimes in antique stores. I got mine from a really awesome website called royalshave.com. This model specifically, if you're interested in it, is called the Merkur 1904 Safety Razor 42C. One thing people ask me a lot about it is, will they cut themselves? And my answer is that with a classic razor, I have cut myself so many times. And you know that you have too. With this one, I have not cut myself once. And I think that that's because this requires you to be a lot more gentle and to have a lot more control with it. This is a lot heavier than a classic razor. This doesn't have any weight to it at all, really. This one is a big chunk of metal. So you don't press down the way that you would with a normal razor. You let the weight of the razor itself do the work. So often when I'm doing this, it's honestly so like subtle and soft that I don't believe that it's actually working until afterwards I wipe it away and I'm like, oh, I am shaved. So it's very gentle. It's not as scary as it sounds at all. In fact, I think that it's a lot safer than the razors that most people are used to using. So I also just want to explain real quick how this works, because I know that people are confused about them. So it has 3 parts. This is your handle, and then your 2 top parts here. This one and this one. And where your razor goes is there we go. Here's the very top of your safety razor. And then you get these razor blades that come in packs. They're very thin razor blades, specifically made for shaving. They're kind of bendy. And you carefully place that on, I can't see. There we go. On top, it's got like 3 notches so that it fits. You're really, again, like I have cut myself more putting the cartridges on a regular razor than putting these on here because these have safe sides, which are not blades. You have to be aware of what you're doing, obviously, but it's really not any less safe or more dangerous than with a regular razor. So then you put the second part on top of that razor, so they're like a little sandwich, and then you screw your handle in. And there are fancier ones you can buy for a little more money that have what's called a butterfly closure, which means that you don't have to unscrew the handle. You just sort of, there's like a switch that you flick and it opens up and you put the blade in there. But this one suits me just fine. So, I don't know how much you'll be able to see here, but between the top and the bottom is sandwiched this blade. And I'm running my finger across the blade right now. It's just the very edge of the blade poking out, just like it would be on a regular razor. Except instead of having a bunch of little ones, which have been like manufactured separately and put together in this like plastic cartridge that's often not recyclable and that is costing you a lot of money, instead you just have a single blade, which costs pennies. So yeah, I think that is everything that I was gonna say. I mostly just have been trying to like preach the gospel of safety razors because it's just so much cheaper. I spent $10 on a blade sample pack at royalshave.com and I still have not bought a new one yet. It's so great and I'm so happy to be saving that money, and I feel like this is a much better way to shave because the blades are so cheap. I use a new one every single time I shave. You don't have to do that, but I do it because the blades are so cheap, and that means that each time I shave, it's like I'm shaving with a new razor. I don't get ingrown hairs. Everything's like just baby smooth. It's so nice. So I really recommend these for anybody who shaves any part of their body. They're awesome. So yeah, I think that's it. If you have other questions or other videos that you want me to make, just let me know. And I will do my best to make them, even though I'm really nervous making videos and never know what to say. So, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go now. Bye.